Right, let's strip this down and start making the axle. Right, this will be the first end of the axle. On the drawing, it says 1/2 inch from there to the turned shoulder. And then when you put a 1/4 inch retaining ring in, you've got to drill a hole in the last quarter. Well, I thought that was a little bit too small because they're asking for 3/16 of an inch, which doesn't leave much room meat there. So what I've done, I've put this on there and I'm going to leave it shy of that scribe line. So I'm going to have a little bit longer than the 1/2 inch. So let's get that turned down. Right, that's one end machined up. So as you can see, when I put that cap on, it's still slack on that. That's good. But I've just got a little bit more meat to put the pin in. Right, what I'll do now, I'll put this through the wheels again so I can mark the actual shoulder on the other end. Right, so what I've done is I've put a washer against the shoulder I've just turned on this end. I've got everything up nice and tight. So I've marked the end of the shaft there. And then what I'll do is I'll just allow a very small clearance when I turn the next shoulder down, just so it won't be dead tight. Right, that's both ends of the axle done. Next I've got to make some retainer rings which slide on there to hold the wheels on, and then there's a hole drilled through there. And then I've got to work out where my keys have got to go to line up with the key in the drive in Boss, and on the other end the differential gear. So let's find some material and make me retaining rings first. Right, I've faced the end of the bar off. What I got to do is just bore it to size to fit on the axles, and then part them off. That's the centre drill done. I'll drill it deep enough so I can make the two. Right, just boring out the last size. Right, that's that. There she goes. Right, one more. Right, that's the retaining ring on there. I've got the other one on the other end. The overall clearance, I suppose, is probably up to like 1mm between the two wheels, so that's blooming lovely. Now what I've got to do is drill through here and make a pin that slides in through there in front of the ring, and then that pin will hold that on, and then the cap, when that's on, will hold the pin in place and stop the pin coming out. Excellent. Right, so now let's get these out and drill this, and also I've got to mark out where the keys are going in the axle to line up with the keyway in the drive hub and the differential. Do that at the same time. As you can see, I'm milling the keyway in the shaft. Right, this is the final cut. Right, that's a 5mm keyway. I've got some 5mm key steel here. Oh, that fits in there lovely. I'll just do the other end. And then I'll cut the key steel. Little bits to go in there, and then we can put the axle back through the horn plates and the axle tube. Get the wheels on. Right, I've got the key steel in. You can see the slot there with the drive hub sliding on lovely. So that's the differential gear on. Turn that, you'll see that the shaft is turning and it's turning the other side because of the keys in there. Great. Now just get the wheels back on. Right, I've got the wheels in. I've got to make the pins for there. I've got to order some more material to make the diff lock pins, but with that pin in, look, if you look at there, that's the, I've got a pin in the other side as well to lock the wheels to the drive hub and this wheel to the differential gear. That's great. So what I'll do now, I'll make these pins later. As I say, I've got to order some more round for that. I'll make the pins later, then I'll take it off, finish fitting the brake rings. Right, so there's the retaining pins in. Now all I've got to do, I'll do the brake rings now on the inside of the wheels. As you can see, I've got all the studs in the back of the brake rings. Now I've got to drill some of these plates and then they will go behind the spoke. These studs go each side of a spoke, and then the plate will sandwich that on and hold it in place. So the next job is mark out and drill these plates. Right, you can see I've made all the plates. I've rounded off the corners. I think that makes them look a little bit more finished. Now let's get these on the wheels. Right, and that's one brake ring fitted. Let's do the other one. Right, that's the second wheel done. I'll just put that back on the axle. Right, so that's the other wheel back on the axle. Just the brake ring fitted on that one. And on that one. I think now what I'll do, I stick the rubber tyres on, I think. And there we have got the wheels all jigged up with the rubber tyres stuck on. That's the brake ring there. It's looking quite good. Right, in the next video I'll be doing the third shaft. On there's a large gear. When that one's being machined to size, it will mesh with a gear on the second shaft. And then next to this gear here, I couldn't get a casting for that, so I've got some cast iron round. I'll make the gear out of that, which then will mesh with the final drive gear. So please subscribe to my channel and join me as I build a 2-inch scale Fowler Showman's traction engine.